Any announcements for today?
The Hamsci Workshop Committee met on Tuesday, and we have selected the program. So it is in progress getting that on the website. We should be contacting people soon. I know one of the things that we decided was we have the New England Grape Group scheduled for a talk about their dropout, and that about the grape dropout, and that's going to be following a 20-minute talk by Andrew Rodlin, who does KC2G. So he's planning on coming in person to the workshop. So
cool.
So that's very exciting. And then of course we also have John's going to give a talk on the grapes. Rob Robinette is going to give a talk on the Whisper Demon and its the K9Q radio and how they're using that to make grape-like observations. Let's see, Rachel Bodeker is going to give a talk on the grape data we've gotten so far for the eclipse. It's shaping up to be a really nice program. I think that's my big announcement.
Nice. Any other announcements or anything to add to the kind of open forum at the end?
I just, for those of you who are using 888s, last night we just got Franco and Phil Karn and others got web interface going to the 888. So we now have, yes, while you're doing Whisper Demoning and you're recording your WWVs from IQs, you can also have a Kiwi-like interface to look at the whole spectrum or zoom in and tune around and listen to your WWV at the same time. So I have to incorporate that into the installation process. But I mean, this is, I think, completes all of the functionality I can imagine for.
And this essentially meets what my original vision for the personal space weather station, the SDR version. So that's amazing.
I think I don't know what else we could ask for in a receiver. So we just need to get our own hardware. The
yes.
Okay, the 888s are are from an unknown vendor, and
right. That's amazing, Rob.
I thought, well, I did very little of it, I mean, of this part of it, at least. The web stuff is John Melton, G0ORX, I think. So this is a port of, I think, of HP SDR. I believe that's the name of the program that runs on other platforms and has been around for a long time. So I just can't imagine, I don't know what more we could be doing, at least for shortwave reception and so on. So that's the major announcement. And I've added, we have a bunch of Whisper Demon grape sites now that are contributing. So.
And you're going to do a demo of this at the Hamsci workshop?
Yes, we're gonna both. Paul Elliott, WV6CXE, who designed and manufactures the Whisper Sonde, is coming with his Whisper Sonde 8. So we'll bring, maybe several of them. They're easy to carry, and I'll bring up one of these receive systems with a 888 and a Ryzen, little D-Link Ryzen, and if we have GPS and an antenna, we can give you guys a complete demo end to end of WWV, grape reception, everything happening in one inexpensive and small package.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's my announcement for the day.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay. If you have any additional stuff you'd like to talk to, go ahead and add it in the sections below. If not, we'll go ahead and start off with you, John.
Okay, this week, Majid gave me a new set of STL files for the 3D print box set. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's how it turns out in the true Grape color scheme. Thing that's amazing is I asked him to take advantage of these top rails. You can see this along the edge of the box. So this thing actually. Need two hands to do this. It slides off. And you can see how that all goes together. And that's where the back part here is where the Raspberry Pi is going to sit. And then up front in here is where the Leo Bodnar is going to be hidden. And then that slides on to the top, and then the two board set goes in. And the covers go on, and then this sits on top of the hard drive, and then you have a Grape 2. And I've printed all three. They print fine. He actually added a little piece here that goes in front here to help print the window square because we were having some problems with drooping issues. He fixed that. That's going. I'm hoping to rope in probably oh geez, Christina to try and head up the printing of that, because I just don't have any bandwidth to do that, and she's probably closer to the people doing that. So, but I still think we're going to need people printing this, because the big part of the box takes 5.5 hours, the smaller box takes 3 hours, and he combined the two front panels so they sit on the plate and they print basically like that. That takes 2.5 hours per set, and we have to come up with 30 sets. I've got 4 printed now, so we need another 26. So that's a lot of printing time.
There are several people who have volunteered to do that.
Yes.
I'm ready to go, John. I'm ready to print.
Okay, I will send the STLs to you. I have a color scheme.
Well, wait a minute, let's be careful. 'cause
Gary
I
was
think
coordinating things, yeah.
Yeah, on a Tuesday workshop call, Christine implied that she had it all covered, all of them.
I
I
don't
know,
believe
Nathaniel,
so.
if you heard that or it's just me or what, but
She has I know who she's talking about, and I think that's going to be a bit of a bottleneck. I don't know if they can do that many that quick, because I want to start shipping units next week. And
Yeah,
it takes colors to do that.
We're getting close to the 8th, and we need units, whether boxed or not.
Well, the box is, yeah, well, the box just makes it easier to assemble. Otherwise, you start using double-sided sticky tape.
I agree, but I use a lot of that.
The hardware, the boards are being modified now. Today is the 3rd day of the 3 days they quoted me. Hopefully I'll be getting those back tomorrow. The board that I modded myself is running fine. Firmware wise, we're still struggling with trying to make the jump from 8 kilohertz sample rate to 8192 to allow the FL Digi algorithm to work seamlessly. Otherwise, it needs 8192 samples per second, and the A to D cards are sampling at 8,000, so it has to steal 192 samples every second from the previous second. And when that adds up to a whole second, that's when it skips. That's why it does that. The Grape 2 will run fine at 8192, and I've run it that way, but the software still had a little bit of a hiccup where it's losing buffer stuff, and we're not quite sure why yet. The default now is we're going to go out with the 8 kilohertz sample rate, and then we can, the way I'm setting up the repo, we can easily upgrade to 8192, and both settings will be in the operating system to be able to change the Leo Bodnar from 8 megahertz to 8.192 megahertz. But the display is working pretty good. Kung is having some issues with the GPS daemon giving him bad NEMA strings and having checksum errors. We haven't figured that one out yet. Still working on it. Kung cannot be here today. He just texted me he had some kind of family emergency, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but hopefully things will work out for him. Other than that, I've been, like I said, waiting for the boards, doing testing for Bill, and Not sure we have talked too much about possibly what Mike could possibly do for us in addition to what we're showing, but I think I'll throw it over to Bill now and let him fill us in on what's going on.
We got the magnetometer input interface integrated with Dave Witten's excellent magnetometer reader data, and we've got that running and now saving data to the magnetometer file. I could show that if you want.
Sure.
Rachel, if you could give me screen share access.
I believe you should have it.
Oh, okay. So there's the magnetometer data coming in down at the bottom. I don't know if it means anything, but you can see it updating every second, as well as the Doppler the frequencies of each radio and the amplitude signal level. So
Is that
that's
a live antenna?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's scary. It's working.
Oh yeah. I've run the plots for the last few days too. I can show that if you guys want.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see those.
Just the comparison. Let me see if I can bring that up. Let's see. Sure. Yeah, they don't look a lot different from last week. So this is last night's. And the red is the Grape 2, the blue is the Grape 1, FL Digi in both cases. You can see they line up pretty well. This is signal strength. Grape 2 just is has a little more gain. That's why you see it above the Grape 1. And here's the Doppler shift. They both saw this this wild swing here.
Wow.
And this one.
I saw those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the Grape 2 does not have AGC on it, swings should be much larger in dynamic range because we're not doing any compression. So that's closer to reality.
This is Doppler shift, but
yeah, signal
is here. And let's see what else. This is just going back the previous days. It's pretty good alignment all the way. Here's all three radios. This shows that the blue is the Grape 1 at 10 megahertz, and the red is the Grape 2 at 10 megahertz. The green is 5 megahertz Grape 2. The light blue is 15 megahertz Grape 2. So you could just see the difference, the dropouts here. This was me fooling around, so it just pay no attention to that. It's taking the thing offline.
You got a bunch of grapes there.
Yeah. So that's
So
all.
in a nutshell, we're looking good. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
That's all I had.
Okay.
That's a lot of data, Bill.
Yeah.
He's been a very busy man.
I think it's really valuable to have at least one station that has the multiple grapes, et cetera, so that we get an idea over a long period of time what the it begins with a C. I'm the comparison.
Correlation?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's going to happen at my house because I've got a Grape 1 on 5, 10, and 15. I've also got a Grape 1 running digital RF, and then Grape 2 will be running there all off the same antenna. So the input will be identical to all of them. So we'll know, we'll have a good reference point for what they're all doing. And the distribution for the beta units, we're going to get one out into Fort Collins as a reference node. Bill's got his going. I'm going to set one up at my house when I get it together and going. The only running units now that are available are at Bill's location. He's got all the magic hardware.
Yeah. The word I was looking for was correlation.
Yep. But yeah, we will have that. So I don't think there is anything else, but we do need to make some coordination efforts on these case builds. We do need help. I don't think they can do them all themselves. So, and I will need help with that because I don't have bandwidth to do it.
How important is the color scheme? Because I can print any color you want as long as it's black.
Colors, the only reason I was using the yellow or white for the back panel is there's LEDs that shine through it that are kind of power indicators, and as a 1 PPS you can see through the panel, but with black you wouldn't see it, but it's not going to hurt anything. So yeah, I can send you those. And
I mean,
actually I think Gary was going to put them on the web.
This great big maker lab with about 24 3D printers in it, but they also stay pretty busy. I mean, is that really the issue?
Yeah, well, I've got ThinkBox here, and we've got access to 30 of them, but I haven't talked to any of them, and I don't have 30 rolls of monofilm of the 1.75 millimeter PLA filament to run 30 units. So the fact that he doubled up on putting these panels, instead of taking an hour and a half for each one, it now takes 2.5 hours to print them both. So that helps a lot. But the other one takes 5.5 hours, and I think 3.5 hours per print. So that's going to be the bottleneck. But if they start feeding to me serially, that I should be able to keep up with trying to get systems out and getting them coordinated, probably through Gary. So
do they have to be printed that precisely?
Well, they do slide together, and they are interlocking parts, and boards plug into them. So yes.
Okay.
But
that makes it longer.
The STL files are, it's a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, and he's using a 0.2 millimeter resolution setting. And the front panel, you know, the placement of the connectors are within 10 thousandths. And I had to make an alignment fixture for making the PC boards to make sure they were square. So it does make a difference, but it's 2.5 hour print for that kind of thing is not bad. I think that's everything, unless you had anything else, Bill.
No, that's
Okay.
it for me.
I'm sufficiently saturated. Back to net.
Okay.
We had an update from Christina.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so Christina said that they could print all of them, but they can't start for another week and a half.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yes.
In a week and a half, they could start printing some.
Week and a half, we can have enough to keep me going for a long, if they had that. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Waiting doesn't work.
Nathaniel, maybe I'll ask Majid to print. He has said he was sending me the 4 he made. I may ask him to do the other 6.
Mm-hmm.
Spell this, aren't I?
I think it's MAJID.
Yeah, MAJID. Yeah, I know we have
And I think he sent them to me.
We have 2 or 3 Prusa printers here.
Yeah, and I've got the Prusa G-code files that I can send you to do that, and they work perfectly.
I can certainly at least make my own enclosure.
The problem is for integration, I need to have it all in one piece. Otherwise, it's a mess. It's part of the way you tie it all together and keep it from falling apart.
Oh, you're going to build complete systems. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is as turnkey as I can possibly make it. I did get the GitHub auto update repo working, because what we're going to do is put the latest code in a GitHub repository, and it goes into a certain directory on the Grape 2s, which updates itself every night. So the latest working code will always be on all the Grape 2s simultaneously. So we can keep them up to date without having to bother people. We may have to, if we, once we get the 8192, we may have them shut it down, reprogram the Leo Bodnar, and then reload the software, which will automatically be there. But again, that's still a work in progress. But I think we're at the point now we can start thinking about, once I have the mechanisms in place and verified, we can start pushing these things out. So, but I do want to get one out in the Fort Collins, and I will talk with Gary about another 1 or 2 beta sites. I know we're going to have a beta site at Scranton, and the beta site is marked by the red case. So, I don't think I have anything more. Back to Ned.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, actually, wait, we have deployment first. Gary, do you have any updates on deployment?
Yeah, I've now got 30 people on the list who've responded. So I'd like to get a couple more just so we can kind of pick and choose based on location. I do have a couple more invitations out there I'm waiting to get back. So we're very close on having the sites laid out.
Is there any way to cherry pick people that are, for the first initial wave, more technically adept at doing this?
Well, there are some people in their comments who've come back and said they're fluent in Linux and they've got, Whisper beacons and stuff running and going. So yeah,
That's
there are.
the first wave I want to send to those people, because they're going to be the
Right.
most helpful for me fixing things.
Right. So yeah, I saved all the replies in mine. I can find them.
Perfect. You get 3 gold stars and a go home early card.
Yeah.
I have a question for John real quick, Rachel, when there's a chance.
Yeah. Anything else from you, Gary?
No, that's it. We got to figure out the case thing before we end the call today. If we stay on after or whatever, but that's still kind of hanging out there.
Right.
Oops. Questions on phone.
Ooh, I like the logo for the case symbol on your map there, Gary. With the eclipse making the C. That is very cool.
Well,
And
That is
CHU, I mean, the CCC connection is awesome. This is awesome.
so yeah, that's kind of a crude eclipse path, but it'll work for now.
That is
So
way
John,
cool.
my quick question for you is, I stepped away to get some coffee and I came back and saw my name as I'm printing now. Is that right?
I just put
Yes.
that there, volunteered.
And I will
Okay.
send you the files ASAP.
And then send me color preferences and I'll try to get close.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, it's not critical. It's just, I guess it was one of those executive decisions I was allowed to make.
And you thought the total time involved for all the pieces, there's like 6 pieces, is probably close. It sounded like close to 12 hours. Is that right?
No, there's 4 pieces. One's 5.5, one's 3.5, so that's 9. And then the 2 front and back panels are 2.5. So it's 11.5 hours.
14.
14?
Yep. 2.5 each on the panels. That's 5.
No. The panels are printed together and it takes 2.5 for both front and back together.
Okay, 11. Gotcha. 11.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to get started.
Yes.
Okay.
And you will have that so fast your head will spin.
Well, I will try to acquire the plastics needed today. So I have a good source. Thank you.
Thank you. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, I can run some for you too, John, if you want to send me as well.
Okay, I will do that. Let me write these down because in 10 minutes I'm going to forget.
What was the printer you were using, John?
I was using a Prusa MK3 or i3 MK3 Plus.
Cool. Would you also send me the MF files, please, as well as the STL files? Because that's the exact printer I have.
It is? I'll send you the G-code files.
That's what I'm saying. The G-code file, yeah. Send that to me.
Yeah. Okay.
John,
But also send me the STL files, please.
John, are you able, Christina suggested that we post the STL files and I guess possibly the G code files to a GitHub or Zenodo so that everyone can access them. Is that
Actually, I
something you
think
can do?
Gary had them on, has a website page we were gonna put them up on. Maybe we can just push that through, Gary. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's there. It's done. It's sitting there ready and waiting. So it's got pictures.
Okay, let
it's
me
got
get
an
you the latest.
explanation.
Let me get you the latest files, and they're in a zip file, in a zip folder. And let's push them out after the meeting. We'll stay on a little bit afterward, and I'll make the email connection.
That sounds great.
Okay. Oops. So that takes care of that. Gary, I just wanted to ask on the deployment end, did we post this? I guess I could just check the website instead of asking you, but have we put the map up on the website yet? Or
I didn't because I wanted to ask a question. The bad thing about the map is it's static. So as people come and go and things move, it's got to be manually updated. I mean, I can put it up there and say, as of February 15th, these are the locations or something like that. If that's acceptable, I can do that.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's
just-
fine.
Maybe in 3 months or something, come back and update it. I don't know.
We may also want to wait until we pick what the stations will be for the eclipse, but I think at least some of the Grape 1 and Grape 2 station, or Grape 1, Grape 1
Yeah,
DRF.
because I don't have the DRF data, which would be nice to put on there too, but we can talk about that later.
We
Yeah,
will
well,
also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
follow. Oh, no, that was actually the other follow-up. They're both map related. I didn't know if Bill had sent you something.
We will also be pushing up the standard daily logs to the WWV ARC for Christina's use as well, because we're creating those. So that's also going to be an automated push, which will be on the distribution, since I've got that working. So it's all coming together. I wish this would have been like 6 months ago, but it is what it is.
Okay. This is good. Any other questions, comments, or concerns about the Grape 1?
Guess the only thing I want to mention is if they do the 3D prints, they need to send them to me so I can use them. Because the integration is kind of integral in terms of putting it all together, and it's kind of a mess without them. So it literally holds the system together.
Okay, well,
Christina also just told me that they could probably print she said printers are busy until the 27th. Ben estimates they can print 15 in one day once they start. And so she's going to also email you directly, John.
Yeah, well, that's yeah, it's a little late, but I'll talk to her.
Sounds great.
What else? No, they'll come back to me.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns on the Grape 2 deployment?
Oh, yes. Jeez. My brain is total scatter mode. I've been working with the hard drive problem, and I removed the auto detect in the boot/config.desk file to remove the auto seek of the camera, which it somehow gotten in there, and to an auto hot plug of the HDMI port. And since I've done that, I have not had any dropouts of the hard drive. And that may be coincidence, I don't know, but I'm being careful with it, but they seem to be working now, especially since Bill Engelke's had all his digital RF ones working. I haven't figured it's kind of something weird. So maybe that's taken care of. We're going to try with going with what we got, since we really don't have time now to react. So that's the game plan. We'll know in a hurry if it starts failing. So and I guess the backup plan would be to use probably like a 1 terabyte solid state drive and plug it in with the controller that I've got and as a backup plan, but that requires spying the drives, and I don't want to do that until we absolutely need to spend the money. I don't even know if we have the money, so. But we have a game plan if it does turn south, but it's looking promising now. At least for me. I don't know what Bill can say about his, but once you seem to get it working and don't touch it, it seems to be fine.
Yeah, mine's been working for more than a week, you know, ever since, I mean, it has never gone offline, so.
Did you put those 2 mods into the config.txt file?
I have not, but,
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to keep running it without them and see.
Right, right.
So,
So maybe it's just fooling around or doing something weird while it's running. Anyway, back to
yeah.
that.
Rachel, that was in section 4 there, it's remove auto detect problems. Not correct. Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool. Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns for Grape 2 deployment? Just think this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't ask for anything better than that.
Okay. Any updates on website stuff, either website?
No, nothing new to report. I mean, we've got a couple of efforts going on, but I don't have any results to discuss right at the moment.
Perfect.
I posted the link for the image for the Grape 1 DRF that Bill made available. So
I'll get you the new files. Well, I can send them right now.
yeah, send it right now because I'm in the editor on the web page. Because
Okay, they're coming. They'll be coming your way.
So. Okay, thank you.
Step off on the side here and do this.
Okay. And I think that's all ready to go. Just from last week, I assume because all of the data is being handled all right, that this got resolved. The Whisper stuff is posting to the site all right. Hearing no objections, I'll assume that's good. I did want to talk briefly about the Grape observation paper, mostly because if I don't put it in active business, I may continue to keep pushing it off. So for the most part, this will have a couple different sections. I can see if I can type and talk at the same time.
Did you bubble gum too?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And drink tea. And I'll probably want to talk to some people about writing said sections or writing sections of it and being co-authors. So that is mostly not very substantial in the update front. But I'm getting there. Does anyone have anything else that they'd like to talk about with the rest of our time?
Files just went out.
Oh, perfect. Well,
I was going to mention, anybody that is involved with the WWV Amateur Radio Club, tonight is our monthly meeting at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And Matt Deutsch is going to be there tonight to fill us in on anything going on at WWV. So for those of you in
6 p.m. Mountain.
6 p.m. Mountain, so that'd be 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountains, 5 West Coast.
Glad you said that. I had it an hour later.
Yeah, I did. So did I.
Well, it's 0100, because the time we're on standard time, so. 0100 tomorrow, actually, right? UTC.
Yeah,
I'm just,
yep.
I wonder, Nathaniel and I sent a note to you, to Rachel about comparing, Dave, at your site, you have both a Grape, I think a Grape 1 and the Whisper, a Demon Grape running. And I think we hope to learn to verify that the observations for both systems are correlate with each other. And I thought that was something that Nathaniel suggested Rachel would be the best person to look at. So, did you see that email, Rachel?
I haven't, but I'll look for it frantically.
Well, anyway, that was Nathaniel's suggestion. But Dave, your site has been, as far as I can tell, Whisper Demon, has been up and logging grape data now for weeks. So seems very stable.
excellent, Rob. I'll be in touch with you here soon. I'm recovering from my shoulder surgery. I'm going to lose the sling today, I hope. And so I'm sort of getting back into being active, and I'll be in touch.
No
Yeah,
towers for 2 weeks, Dave.
Yeah.
No what?
Well,
No climbing towers for another 2 weeks.
I don't do that at all anyhow.
Oh, okay.
well, I don't think there's anything you need to do, Dave. I think it's all functional. So I just think that at this stage, the only thing we need to do is learn. Rachel, the site is, I think in the email, the Whisper Demon has a site ID of, I forget, it's 123 or something, and an instrument number. So there would be two different site IDs, two different instrument numbers, but they're attached to the same antenna. So
There's a Grape that's recording both the FL Digi, and then there's a Grape that's recording the DRF, and then you've got the Whisper Demon. So there's 3 receivers at the same site.
Going to be a Grape 2.
And we could put a Grape 2 there, I think. The only thing I need to do is to get a UPS. I was having trouble getting my UPS to work up there, and it is a rural site. And so if something goes down, please feel free, if anybody notices, to email me, and I'll run up and restart things.
Okay. So I'll look into that. Anything else that people would like to talk about? We have about 19 minutes. If not, we can end wonderfully early. So it seems like the main issue was printing, and that is ready to go.
Files have been sent. Hopefully, Dave, you got it in your mailbox. And Bill.
I did, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just put them up on the website, and I'll be answering the chain email that Christina sent out shortly. So we've all got them in one spot.
Excellent.
Okay.
I have
John,
verified all 3 prints on the Prusa, and they work fine. I finished the last one up last night.
The G code's got that little bridge built for that one window, right?
Correct.
You can sometimes, when you're importing those STL files, you have to rebuild those. So that'll be nice to have that done. Thank you.
Yeah, Majid added that as a recent update. So
yeah, that's good.
He is a phenomenal box maker or 3D man. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He did a phenomenal job. He's even got the contour of the side of the extruded case into the front panels, which I wonder if he did that with a 3D scanner or how he did it, but it's just a perfect fit.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to talk about? Because if not, I'm going to call it early.
You can, Rachel, if you want to close the recording or that's fine, but I'd like to stay on with John and anybody else who's doing printing, because I received 5 or 6 replies when I put out the post the other day. So it just seems like we're kind of off and running. I'm just worried that we're either gonna fall short or get flooded by these things, and I don't want to waste somebody's time.
I can stick around.
Yeah, give me a second then. Let me pull up the file I've got and I'll be right with you.
Do you want me to stop recording, Gary?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. That's fine. That'd be good.